It is time for another This Week in Anime number 16. And this week was filled with a lot of good stuff actually. Definitely will not all be in this video, but check the link in the description box. It will be in the article that accompanies this video as usual. So with that being said, let's get started on This Week in Anime number 16. Spoiler alert and disclaimer. All right. First and foremost, I'm going to be reviewing these episodes, and not so much reviewing as talking about what happened in those episodes and adding in my own thoughts. So yes, there will be spoilers throughout, so be prepared for that. Second, we don't read no manga around here. So only time I really read the manga is when the anime is done and I know that it's continuing on in the manga. That's when I read the manga. World Trigger. This past week in World Trigger, not that much happened, but we're gonna run it down real quick. Pretty much Asuma and his crew are still training, and everyone but Asuma is making any progress. We just hope he gets better because he really needs to get stronger. Moving on, later on in that day, Director Kito's away team came back and they decided that, hey, if you want Yuma gone, we can do it tonight. So they went over to the Tamakawa branch and was cut off by Jin, who pretty much was not going to have Director Kito's team thinking they could just run into the branch and kill all who they want without any kind of repercussion. So Tachikawa, the leader of the team, was pretty much ready to take out Jin, but Jin had another surprise. The team from early in the series, you remember those three guys, they showed up and was willing to back Jin up, but Tachikawa would not be deterred. So now we have Jin versus Tachikawa in the next episode of World Trigger, and I think it's going to be pretty great because the whole field on both sides is filled with nothing but A-rank soldiers. It's going to get real crazy. I can't wait. One Piece. This past week, Usopp is down the ground, but at least we now know that Usopp is alive, even though he is like way fucked up, but he's alive. So with Usopp being alive, everyone is happy, and all the people that were under Sugar's control are now returning to their normal selves. However, there's also one extra thing. The memories of them are returning to the people. Chaos breaks out, husbands that haven't been with their wives in 10 years, vice versa, girlfriends, boyfriends, people are going nuts. They assume turn all their confusion and anger towards the man who was responsible because they haven't forgot him. So people took up arms, are ready to storm the castle to find Doflamingo. And while that's going on, the one guy that has been pretty much the main topic for the last couple episodes has now returned to his full human form. Mr. Toy Soldier, Kiros, has now got his body back, and what does he do? The first thing he does is beheads Doflamingo. Wow. And I mean, it was so quick that I really don't believe that Doflamingo is dead, because he literally beheaded him so quickly, and it was almost not epic, but still epic in a way. So I think that Doflamingo is not actually dead, but we're just gonna go along for the ride here, and that's all I gotta say. I just can't wait to see how all these people, the king, and Kyros' daughter, who is currently in the Coliseum, his sister, who is Violet-chan, who is literally staring at him over there with Luffy. I can't wait to see how they all react now that all their memories have returned. Cross Ange this past week was pretty cool actually, because we now see that the Veil Kiss has transported them to another world, pretty much to avoid Embryo's attack, as you saw last week, which could have killed them. And now that they get to this world, they're researching, they're flying around on Vivian, who now we see Vivian is also got caught up in this mess, and she's back into that world as well, and she is a dragon. So we now know that she has a dragon that can take a human form. Kind of crazy, but it will be explained, I'm sure. So they get a lay of the land, and they find out that where they've been transported to was actually the same place they just came from, but in this world, that place was destroyed over 500 years ago by none other than the same paramels that are identical to Veilkiss. So we now know what this real power is. So now that they have gotten a lay of the land, they find themselves in a shelter, and the shelter reveals dead bodies. No one there at all. And the AI lets them know that, hey, guess what? There's no one here on the planet. The AI, as far as the shelter's computers are concerned, Tusk and Ange are the first two humans that the computer has acknowledged living in over hundreds of years. So now they're coming to terms with this. They find themselves in a hotel. They're, getting close, and two women show up on a big ass dragon and welcome them as false citizens, or as citizens of a false Earth. So that's where we're at. Apparently, they believe that they're on the real Earth and that Ange and Tusk came from a false one. So this is getting real interesting. I kind of like the topic of parallel worlds and things like that. There's always interests me a whole lot. So now we're going to see how the world this is going to play out. Where exactly are they, and who are these people, and also how they're going to get back, which is the real question. Of course, we already know the answer to the last one is probably going to be by the Veilkiss. I just don't know how they're going to do that, since they don't know how they got there in the first place. Seikin Tsukai No World Break. This is a new anime for 2015, and it's an action adventure anime. So let's get right into what's going on. We have Moroha, and we have who is our main character, but we also have Satsuki and Shizuno, who are also the two other, I guess you could say maybe two of the main characters, probably supporting characters. But the storyline here is that everyone, or not everyone, but there are some people in this world that have awakened memories, and these awakened memories can give them armor and weapons and allow them to fight. What, I don't know, but apparently there's also dragons in this anime, so I guess it may be them. So as it goes, Moroha has joined a school that will help people control these memories and allow them to use those powers. He meets Satsuki, who turns out to be annoying as hell, and he also meets Shizuno, who is kind of a quiet but closet freak for him. And the reason for that is both these girls remember Moroha in a bit of a different way, but Moroha can't remember anything at all. He doesn't remember any of his past supposed awakened memories. He just can't remember them. As they get into further along in their classes, they finally get to the point where it's time for them to actually learn how to use their awakened memories, and they run into a bully who pretty much already knows how to do these things, and he's more advanced, so he doesn't mind using his powers to pick on noobs, of course. And so Satsuki gets into an argument with him. She gets beaten by him in a fight that was actually set up by the instructor between the two of them. She gets beaten. Moroha takes offense to this, and he goes after the bully. He is getting beaten up, but all of a sudden in the middle of the fight, he gets his memories back. And it was not all of them, but it's enough to give him an awesome blade and crazy powers. So he puts the bully on the ground in an instant, pretty much. And once that happens, he passes out. Probably won't remember crap when he gets to or anything as well. So that is the end of episode 1. So now we're gonna see how this whole series pans out. Right now, I am thinking that it's gonna be quite cliche, but action and adventure animes always turn out to be very, very cliche all the time. So there's no big deal for me. I like the action, I like the animation. Can't wait to see how this series is gonna turn out. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on Tokyo Ghoul Route A. You guys know that this is the season of the year right now, or for now, it's the top season that everyone's watching. Who knows what's coming later on this year, but Tokyo Ghoul Route A this week, as usual, always nice, but not that much happening this week, but it was still pretty good. So to start off with, Iba is literally knocked to the ground by someone who looks just like Yoshimura. Whether it's him or somebody else, I'm not sure. They don't explain. We'll see. Moving forward, Yoshimura is back in the cafe. Everyone is back in the cafe, but of course Kaneki, and they're celebrating the little one's birthday. It's pretty awesome. It's like the world is moving on, to say. back down in HQ headquarters, Shinohara is in a meeting with other special investigators, and they're pretty much saying the crap that we already know about Aragiri having so much territory. There's a kid with an eye patch, Kaneki, running around. They need to defeat Aragiri. Great, whatever. End of the meeting. Shinohara does something that actually is a lot more interesting than that meeting, and he gets a new partner for Amon. This partner is actually Mado's daughter. Akira is the new partner for Amon. Amon, of course, is already kind of annoyed because Akira is exactly like her father, cold and calculating 24/7 all the time, very little emotion, very little energy wasted on anything pretty much. So he's already getting on Amon's nerves. I love it. It's funny as heck. And we end the episode with Kaneki and Ayoto running missions. Don't know what exactly they're doing. And Ito, the girl with the bandages all over her head and all that, actually taking her bandages off. I was expecting something horrific to come that was underneath those bandages, but in actuality I was pleasantly surprised. And who knows if we'll get to see her face even more going on later on in the series. So right now, what the heck is Kaneki doing? What is his goal? What's going to happen? What's that Tiko going to do now that Kaneki is not here? How are things going to unravel? And also, Shinohara's group has now revealed, or they now know, that there is someone protecting the 20th ward. So that's going to make things a little interesting as well, because now they know for a fact that not all ghouls are just trying to kill everybody. So let's see how that goes. Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso. You guys know I love this anime. I still don't know why I love this anime so much. Like I keep saying, it's quite far from my range of animes that I usually watch. But once again, I enjoyed this show. This week, Kousei took the stage without Kaori, who was supposed to be his violinist. There was supposed to be a duo going on stage, but Kaori was a no-show, and because we already know she has her medical issues, but he doesn't know that yet. So before he takes the stage though, Kaori was insulted by one of the top violinists, who just happens to be a kid. And Kousei's rather pissed by that. He wants so badly to show the world that not only is he a good pianist, but Kaori is a great violinist. And so he wants to do that using just his piano technique, just the piano instrument alone. So it was rather odd, but he took the stage anyways. And wouldn't you know, it turned out to be an amazing performance, but it went the usual way it always does for Kousei. He never starts off great, and this time was the same. Now, because he was a little too upset, his performance just gave out these hard notes because he was tapping them too hard. He was angry, and he just couldn't, he just needed to calm down. But thankfully, this episode, it didn't take him too long to figure out that he was doing something wrong. And would you know, the last person on earth that you thought would help him find his way was his mother. And the performance went from angry to a tearful and very powerful goodbye to his mother, as he finally, it's like he forgave her, and he just wanted to say his final farewell that he never truly got to say because he was so angry with her for so long. So it was a very powerful episode, very awesome. And this series keeps tugging on the fields, but it's continuing to truly be a great anime. All right, that's it. It's over. This week in anime was a lot shorter than usual. Let me know if you guys like this shorter format or not. Hit me up in the comments below on Google Plus, on my social networks. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna try doing these things a little bit shorter instead of like a long show, 30-minute show, and just let you guys read the more details on the article that is on the website. Link for that is always in the description below. So hey, I will see you guys next week with another This Week in Anime. You guys have a good one. Bye. To go ahead with Director Kito's request to take out Jin and I'm sorry, to take out Yuma. Damn it, I gotta do this again.